call the Beautification and Tree Board regular meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Can I get roll call for Nick?
Here.
Cody?
Present.
Bob?
Here.
Thank you. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask for approval of the meeting agenda.
I'll first it.
Okay.
I second.
Alright, we are gonna go ahead and move to action items, and I am going to move this over to Sam.
My name's Sam Bachman, I work for the city of Millwood. Basically, I'd like to just try to discuss what the board will do and kind of understand our backgrounds within the community and how we can better reach the community and the beautification of trees and small parks around Millwood, green spaces, and so forth.
What's your
So we're gonna go ahead and talk about
I don't know what the.
What's your background in like where did you come from with tree education and stuff?
I've been involved in landscaping, trees, and property maintenance for 20 plus years. Very passionate about trees and proper pruning techniques and styles and planting right trees in right locations. Within mind of proper watering techniques in regards to overall well-being and health of the trees. Still actively educating and trying to get certified as ISA in tree climbing. Continuing to learn and grow with trees. That's my background.
Right. Nick, do you mind sharing a little bit about your background?
Yeah, I'm just a Millwood resident and I work for the West Valley School District. And I'm just interested in helping and doing whatever I can to keep the tree board going.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Cody?
Yeah, I'm a utility tree trimmer for the last 15 years, so I've been trimming trees pretty much the whole time. If there's something on fire, I go and get out of the power lines with the power still on. So I just I've done a little residential work too, pruning people's like apple trees and shaping them and stuff like that, and just trying to make proper cuts on stuff so it doesn't kill the tree and whatnot. That's about it.
Thank you. Bob, will you share some of your background?
Yeah, I'm Bob McMurdo. Lived in the town of Millwood for 40 years. Been proud that we were Tree City, USA, and want to keep that. I think that's part of our Millwood that people like. We were a small community and we have these great things going for us. And, just passionate about trees and hope everything works out for us.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So Sam, do you want to get started on kind of a update of how Arbor Day went this year and who was there and what kind of tree planted? And
Arbor Day went well, I feel. We had a few, I believe Nick was there, we had a few local residents. Planted a tree on the interurban walking trail down by Frederick at the green space. There was a few volunteer elms that were 30 footers that we removed and planted a flowering hibiscus tree in the bark and hooked up the irrigation and everything's going good. Trees growing good. The celebration was epic. Parade and everything.
You have a picture of said tree you can put up here for us?
yeah, let me go through and
See what kind of
There was a
specimen we have
few
here.
residents, I think there was maybe 5 local residents. And a few walker-bys, but
And Sam was generous enough to donate that tree. He saved it from a nursery that was closing their doors, along with a bunch of other trees we still have out here yet to plant. He saved them. They would have been dead if it wasn't for him bringing them back to life and nurturing them, so that's cool.
How do we obtain said little trees that we plant in the neighborhood here? Do we just get them from random people, or could we do like a sponsorship thing? We make a little plaque by people that live in town here, and you put it next to their special tree there, and they can come visit it.
Good, yeah.
Talked about, doing things like that, but we're still trying to figure that out with.
Up until Sam came on, we'd plant a tree every year for Arbor Day,
Yeah.
of course. And I would just budget at least a couple grand a year.
Yeah.
And I like to put big trees in the ground, like we've taken some dead ones out of the arboretum over here on Empire, and I like to put, 15, 20-foot trees in the ground if we can, just because, it's good to see some larger trees. So we had been typically, up until the last year or so, we had been typically spending about $1,200 to $1,500 on a pretty good sized tree that's, fairly far along, I guess, considering. I know before I got here, they were planting some little saplings and stuff that sometimes they were donated by the conservatory or whatever, and there's still one down on Dalton that looks, I've been here for going on almost 15 years, and it still looks dang near the same as it did when I started, so I wanted to try to do something a little more
Is that guy still
substantial.
have that engraving shop in that right there?
He's not there anymore.
He's not?
No, his daughter, he passed away actually, his daughter took it over, she's out off of Pines and Empire.
Okay.
What's that nursery that you go to? I forget. West Valley.
Green Acres Nursery, I believe.
Yeah, Green Acres Nursery has been giving us good deals on, we
Is
got
that there up Bowdish?
on Trent, and
Yeah.
It's the one just when you get past Sullivan there.
he got
What's
really
up,
nice
Wes?
stuff
Yeah.
in there. And he treats Millwood right. He's a
Yeah.
West Valley grad.
Yeah, he's got
Free
a
delivery,
background.
free planting.
Yeah.
We just prep the soil. He sold us a paperback river birch that
Yeah.
was 12, 15 footer almost. And it's doing good.
Oh, good.
It's a beautiful tree, and we don't have any of that, and that's kind of low. It could be localized if we were in an orchard area in the mill, but birch trees grow near the river.
Yeah.
Our canopy diversity in Millwood's pretty oakish.
Yeah.
We're fruit trees, so it's cool to be able to pick that tree out.
It'd be nice to get a couple of redwoods and toss them in there. So they'll do all right around here. They don't grow as fast as the moist areas, but
And
they still get big.
we're blessed with our rocky soil that it won't hurt with overwatering with our automatic sprinkler system, so
That's good.
they could grow.
As much as
Under
what's
some
green.
20-foot power lines sounds great idea.
I'm probably not there. I might have to come through and butcher it.
Bonsai.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, we had a $50,000 DNR grant that we applied for, and it set up a urban tree inventory for us.
I do that. Was
Yeah.
here for that.
And so,
Was it like 90% needed trim and like 5% removal? 5 was fine.
Yeah, and we
something around
have
It's
that.
really cool.
we have that database, and it's still, we kept up on it. We got another grant and acted on it, it must have been December of '24 for about another 50 grand, and that went through and trimmed all of the public trees, so everything in the park, arboretum,
Oh,
the ones down the center of Dalton, the center island that are our trees.
that was just the only ones I was aware of. Was all that
Yeah.
park and whatnot.
But one of the things that did come up when they were doing the tree inventory is, like Sam touched on, the majority of our trees are maples and oaks.
Yeah.
And, he emphasized and I didn't know any of this, until I was talking with him, and he emphasized the importance of diversifying your canopy. That way, if some horrible disease or bug or something does come through, it doesn't just wipe out everything,
That's like the pine beetles. You see how those work. Up in
Right.
the woods, and
I think there's only moths that can attack oaks. I'm not really.
I think it's moss. We have swear beetles up here, and there's the mountain pine beetle, and then
Nothing too crazy that really kills oaks
No.
other than chemicals. we're overwatering.
Yeah, we're not far enough down south where we got all the nasty bugs and whatnot.
So that's just something to think about, and that's kind of why, you know, up until this point, every time we plant a tree for Arbor Day, it's usually, I try to find something different, you
Yeah.
know? And if we're planting something in the Arboretum or one of these, you know, custom green spaces, kind of try to find something kind of, I don't know if I want to say exotic, but something just kind of different. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't necessarily have to be a big massive tree, like, you know, some of the green spaces along the trail that need trees, it'd be well suited for something that would stay smaller, you know? But yeah,
We
we're
got
As
trying,
long as the
railroad
railroad doesn't
that
come
come-
through,
Yeah.
spray it all, and kill everything.
yeah. Yeah, we've had conversations about that too.
You know, the chain link fence is nice, but they get all excited with their spray and drifts over through that bad boy.
Well, I think we
Maybe,
might
maybe
have,
if you put a no spray sign right there, maybe they won't spray, I don't know. Cause people do that for the county right away and stuff like that, if they spray and it kills their fancy tree, then you're like, yeah, it's on you.
that's a good idea, we could try
Just
that.
east of Joe's house on the trail.
Yeah.
I think at least 12 trees and a lot of the vegetation. I mean, even the homeowners,
Yeah.
200 feet from the railroad tracks, you can see herbicide damage
Yeah,
from
they had a
years
problem.
of
Yeah.
just blasting out the side of the train track. Or
The county had a problem with that because they were overspraying stuff and it was killing people's yard trees and stuff like that.
I did see
Imitation
this year
farm.
that I think it was a private or a third party was on like a little UTV
Yeah,
spraying, a couple hundred feet down the main arterials or whatever, Argonne and Vista.
yeah.
And I have not seen the train come down the tracks blowing at 60 feet outside of the
Yeah,
yet.
maybe it's something that we have to
Yeah.
subsidize so they don't.
Well, and I've had our spray guy kind of spray through the fence onto their property too, thinking maybe if we get to it first
Yeah.
and there's nothing there, then they won't be so
Yeah,
prone to
the
just
guy's
hose
probably
it
on the
down.
back there with this like big hose or something
Yeah.
launching it out there.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how they do that, but it's something that we can maintain through the fence, just get a little extra spray while,
I've been
Somebody's there.
trying to get it under control.
yeah,
I'm getting there. Baby steps.
yeah.
So I think one of the things we gotta try to do this evening is try to have a conversation on which one of you three wants to be the chair. I think in a conversation that Cody and I had last year, I was thinking, I had mentioned him just because of his experience, but that's just my 2 cents. So I mean, we wanna make sure it's gonna be somebody that's gonna be
Yeah,
here reliably and,
yeah, or if you have more time to delegate to all the research and whatnot, I'm not sure what you guys got going on, so.
so I mean,
I'll first that,
what's that?
that he could be the
And I'll
chairman.
second it.
Alright, give me the gavel then.
Yes, sir.
How does this go? I don't,
So we'll have to,
I'm not sure he deserves that yet.
we'll have to talk to the mayor just to see exactly, cause none of us are very familiar with exactly what the process is. If she's got, I mean, you guys have all been
Yeah,
appointed to
to
the
like
board.
swear in with her or something like that.
Yeah, we don't know. So we'll, if that's what you guys all agree upon, we can, We can-
Towards me.
we can figure out the details or whatever. And I mean, it's not like a huge amount of responsibility or anything. You're basically just kinda gonna do like what we're doing already, you
Yeah.
know?
They're
You're just
trying
gonna
to
kinda make
further-
sure the meeting flows, you
Yeah.
follow whatever's going on the agenda.
Sure, the
and-
first and seconds and all the
Yeah.
boxes are checked and whatnot.
Yeah, and just try not to get too far off in the weeds, you know, and make a half-hour meeting into a 2-hour meeting, you know? So,
As long as Sam does his job.
is there anything else that we wanna talk about this evening that we need to talk about? I know Sam has some stuff that he was wanting to go over, and I was like, idle down a little bit. We got, we don't need to cover it all in one meeting, cause we still gotta have another one in September and another one at the end of the year, so. I mean, let's get the meat and potatoes out of the way, the chairperson and just our backgrounds and stuff, and, we can have more stuff to talk about in the end of September or whatever. So,
Go do a little park browse and see what they've been doing with all the stuff.
what's that?
Do a little eyeballing around town and see what
There you
we got
go.
going on.
Yeah, the tricky thing we have is, so I got the grant to do all the public trees, piece of cake. We have all these trees in people's property, there's street trees.
I live around Liberty there, and I think that'd probably be the first thing to address, so cars not driving by, so wind comes in and launches the big dead branch out, cause those have been pollarded before, and that's not really healthy for the trees.
There's a lot.
Where someone just comes through and they like cut it off at the wood and it makes like 5 tops and comes out of there.
Right.
That's pollarding right there, and a lot of the trees over there have that, and then it promotes rot and whatnot.
So the problem is the homeowner is responsible for those trees. Now, I have heard from our attorney and stuff that there has been in the past, there has been grants available that you could do work with that like. But it's gotta be a specific grant because the city cannot donate funds to residents.
Could it be like a
So-
shared type
choose
of
an
thing where
area
they
per
like
se.
meet the half the cost kind of thing?
I don't
Kinda
know
like the
exactly.
DNR does with land clearing and whatnot.
I'm not sure. I know that, I believe our city attorney, Brian, was telling me that the city of Spokane last year, the year before, applied and received a tree grant that was designed to be able to work on street trees, which are essentially,
Yeah, it's
the
like the
landowner's
homeowner's
responsibility.
tree, but it's in our right of way type
But
of
they
thing.
started in low income.
yeah, they had to, well, and I mean, they're so large, right? You have to figure out how to pick and choose. I don't know if that was the right way or not, but I get it. I would hope that and this just is all speculation and depending on what kind of state and federal monies come available, it would be nice just to be able, we're so small, it'd be nice to just be able to do the whole darn town and just be done with it, not have to say, well, yours is gonna get trimmed, but yours isn't, cause that's not.
Well, it'd be probably smart to do like the more, like, try like Liberty, it's a high traffic area, it could hurt the
Right.
residents, say, like, something happens there, and they're trying to drive to work, and that's one of the main arterials, and there's a big
Right.
branch in the road, and not everybody carries a chainsaw with them when they're driving down the road, so.
Exactly.
And old Gladys can't drag that big branch out of the road, she's
Right.
gotta,
And that's usually, that'll fall on us.
yeah.
I mean, we've had twice this year already. There was a tree that fell down across from my house. And sometimes if nobody calls it in and we just end up seeing it when we get to work,
Yeah.
then I get the guys and the gear and a backhoe and a dump truck and we go out there and take care of business, Because then if it's in the road or in the sidewalks or anything like that, then it's our responsibility to
Obstructing the
remove.
public right of way type of thing.
Yeah,
Thank gosh, none of them been on main roads or not kind of gridlocked or.
yeah, we had, I can't remember, it was a couple, probably 4 years ago or something, there was a windstorm and it was like the end of January or something. And I was just actually heading over to Billings, Montana to pick up a truck. And my boss at the time called me and we left early because we're, Billings 8-hour drive or whatever. He called me, we were just getting up 4th of July pass and he's like, there's a big pine tree that went down across Argonne. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can turn around if you really want me to. He's like, no, we'll handle it. And it was one from these apartments right on the river on the west side.
Yeah.
It was out of their backyard and it came down. It blocked like a lane and a half. So it wasn't like all across Argonne, but it was still less than ideal,
Mhm.
Luckily, everything we've had to remove this year has all been on side streets. It's been pretty quiet. Argonne's just a whole different animal when you gotta do anything out there, so.
Gotta have flagging and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's sad to see those trees at the old bank at Trenton.
I know, they're all dead.
One of them fell over, not even in a storm or anything.
It's funny, I just noticed that yesterday when I pulled out of Walgreens, I was like, dang, those are
And we're
done for.
we're in talks with them now to get them ordered to clean that up, it'd be nice to just get that place sold, but yeah, but that was
Is
one
it
of the
just
trees I was
super
talking about.
expensive? Is that why it's just been
Yeah.
sitting for so long?
There's a right of way clause and all sorts of stuff that Walgreens has on and they're not, Walgreens isn't the property owner, right? There's an agreement
No,
between the bank and Walgreens, like
Yeah.
what can be, that facility can be used
Walgreens
for.
has stipulations on what can be there, like whatever can be there can't serve alcohol, and there's a bunch of
And
different
interfere with their
stipulations.
business practices and stuff like that.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
That
homeless
was-
shelter right now, for the most part.
So,
That was one of the trees that fell down, was one across Stout, which is just up from my road.
Is that one of the birches that was out there?
What's that?
Was it birch?
No,
No, it was a pine, I
on
think.
the
Or is it pine?
east side of the road. Or
That's
maybe
right,
I'm thinking by
recall.
DHHS or whatever.
Yeah, this one was, it was in the bank.
I think it was one of
Islands.
the fir trees.
Yeah.
Lost its top. I think it was
Yeah.
fir tree that lost its
I
top.
think they had a bunch of birch in there and then some firs from what I can recall, but
I think they're just
I haven't get it hard eyeball on those things.
Yeah,
So these future dates, are they all 6 o'clock dates?
Yes.
we try to, yeah, cause that's when all the plan commission, historic pres, council meetings, they all just start at 6. I mean, if that, I know, you know,
I got under 5.
at least a couple of you still have jobs, so you know, if that works better.
They're not set in stone, are they? I mean,
No.
we can,
A little finagling if we need to.
People get off work and can show up.
Anything else?
Public remarks, I believe.
Okay.
The public. Any remarks?
We are the public. I was just curious when, Cody brought up a point that, like having, people donate, like families, like you're saying, for like a memorial tree or something. Have you considered that?
We hadn't talked about that, no. I don't know.
Cause you see people, you know, do that, you know, they'll have the little plaques in the street and stuff, or
And they could,
sidewalks
they
and
could
that kind of
donate
thing.
a certain amount for, they could pick out the tree they want and then get like a little rock engraving or something, however much they wanna do for their own plaque and stuff like that. It could be all them, they'd be, pick a spot out in town, we could like plot it out and have available spots that people could claim or something like that.
Have
Maybe
different
put trees in
plots,
there.
say these are
And give
for
'em, like,
memorial trees.
3 different choices, or, you know, make sure it's gonna be
Or
a
just have a
tree
map, so then people
Right,
are,
it's
they're
correct.
fighting for the best spot, cause we're trying to generate a little dollars here and get all these big trees in here, so. Well, all the good spots, the first come, first serve, and
half a block on the other side.
Yeah. That's something we can definitely have a serious conversation about.
Yeah.
Maybe at the next meeting or whatever, and we can try to think of any kind of legalities that would be tricky with that, you know, before that, but yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is not rubbing different community members the wrong way, that, well, we didn't hear about it, and it's like, everybody's gotta have a fair shake at it, person, I don't think.
no,
Still trying to
just put
figure it
a little
all out.
note in the water bill. Everybody opens their water bill in town and just put a little note in there, and that's what we do at the power company, we send it, they're like, we didn't get notified about this, I'm like, did you get your power bill? And they're like, yeah, I was like, well, then you were notified, you just didn't look at it.
Yeah,
So-
been doing the last couple of years and stuff.
Well, it's like September 29th, a little far, maybe next year we can, work that into our booth or something like that, or.
Yeah.
I don't know, have some,
Definitely be discussed, I mean, I'd like to try to establish an area, but then, I mean, the ornamental trees just get destroyed, and it's
is there a dogwood out there?
a couple, 3 of them, but
Yeah, the ones all
they
beat
just
up,
get
yeah.
destroyed, and it's, I mean, they're so far, a lot of the pruning is so far out of whack that I can't really take some of those limbs off, cause they're just as big as a trunk.
Well, I mean, as much as you wanna donate, I mean, you'd spend $1,000 on a big ass tree and put it in there, and
Mm-hmm.
the
But I don't know if
people
I'd
wanna
put it
take-
in there where those, some of those are right by the playground.
Yeah.
I'd almost put it like, I mean, we've talked about it like before, like where do you put it? You can't really put stuff on the railroad side
Yeah, so you
and the
kill-
risk of.
yeah.
So we're trying to find places like the Arboretum. Arboretum has some spots, and we
Yeah.
could remove some of the less desirable
Yeah,
trees that are in there. There's quite a few maples.
is there an elm in there?
I don't know about that. I mean, if there is, they're volunteers. I
Yeah.
mean, they're brought in.
Elm or cottonwood or willows or something?
There's a couple
I mean,
willows.
If there's a weeping willow is nice, but it's regular.
I think they're corkscrew willow or whatever they call them.
Yeah, corkscrew willow,
They're really cool. There's some there's coffee tree. There's can't remember the exact chestnut. There's some really cool trees in there, but there's so much overwatering, and there's been so much like damage to the stalks over the years of
Doesn't that flood a little bit in there, 'cause it's kinda in that
maybe allegedly.
tip? Theoretically, it might
Somebody
be.
might have put a brick on top of the sprinkler system and
Hey, I'm
that-
gonna work on that tomorrow.
the street sweepings kind of killed or something leached into the grass and killed the grass.
Yeah.
But there is potential for places to put.
Is that the county that maintains that does the street sweeping and whatnot? Is that,
I have the street sweepings dumped there, cause that's about the only place to dump them, and then we haul them off ourselves.
Don't they have to be tested or something, or
Yep.
it's a,
Yeah, I had to go take samples in and have them tested. It was a whole, I feel like I spent all winter trying to get it approved so I could take it back out to Graham Road again this year and have them dumped again. But that's a whole different argument.
What do you guys do with you guys chip? You chip your stuff? You just
no,
have a bunch of branches, do you haul it to the dump?
Yeah, usually.
You should look on chip
firewood.
drop. Yeah, firewood. You can look on chip drop, cause some people take branches and stuff like, feed them their goats and whatnot, it's just a website. That's what we do with all of our chips
Give me one of them Dixon chippers, don't I?
and.
We don't really have, I mean, the manpower and, I mean, we don't really, thank gosh, we haven't had to deal with anything too big and too brushy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's, I mean, dumpster,
Yeah.
unfortunately. We don't, I mean, we store a lot of our green clippings and grass clippings up at Butler. It's not really worth it to take a barrel full of branches up there.
What about the community garden across the road there?
Or River South.
Hmm?
That's not our.
Yeah, I know, but I'm
We
saying-
used to take leaves there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do. They're part of the Millwood community stuff.
The Millwood garden or something, I don't know.
They don't want any of the grass clippings because we use fertilizer and
Yeah.
stuff. They do take, I think they took about 10 or 15 loads of leaves last year. But
They wanna find chips and whatnot.
yeah, and I think the lady that was running that before, I mean, she had so many chips hauled in there, they kinda got like,
No, they started
Yeah,
pushing it
they're
over and like
huge.
making new
Yeah.
ground with
They
it.
got in a little
It was
trouble
big,
with.
yeah.
yeah, they got a little too close to the river, so.
And the water, like flooding area type thing.
Yeah. So they're about built out there.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably continue to take a few loads of leaves just as, good compost for the gardening and stuff as far as any kind of wood chips or any kind of land development or flattening. I think they're about where they're allowed to be.
Just start piling up in my backyard and set on fire.
Alright,
Do you remember Matt Hamlin, Bobby? Matt Hamlin, I think he might have wrestled or whatever. He takes quite a bit of the loads and
he's
takes
taking,
through them, runs a wheelbarrow on them, all the way to his garden and tills them in and with a wheelbarrow.
yeah, he'll take 10 or 15 loads a year. He's very passionate about his garden.
And it's a benefit to the city because it's free. I mean,
Tills them in.
we dump them in his driveway sometimes.
Yeah, and he's all about it.
That's nice. We need more people like that.
Yeah,
I think that covers most of our board comments then.
Yeah.
So we'll make a note of some sort of maybe a memorial type.
Yeah, just
area or maybe planning moving forward.
sponsorship, your memorial, whatever. Kind of
I mean, do we
semantics.
leave it just for a resident or we'll figure that out?
We'll do a little plot and we'll get back to that.
That's
Yeah,
property.
we'll get into a Millwood Christmas tree next meeting.
I've thought about that. We've thought about with the former mayor, and I brought it up with this mayor too. Now that we have that ADA ramp out here that they did with part of the Argonne project, these stalls in front of this glass space over to the west are not long enough to be legit parking stalls anymore without impeding the ADA part in front of the building. And the former mayor came up with this design of taking that and making it into like a courtyard type thing. And I could do like some Wilbert blocks or something like we got down at the park and so that would make it so you can't park there anymore. The ADA ramp would stay accessible and I could get water over there. So we could plant a tree over there.
That one ain't gonna be there forever.
The one in IEP.
Or one, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's a thought and it's been discussed. I have a little design of it downstairs that we carried over from last year and the new mayor, Shauna, she was all about it. We just, with everything else I've had going on, because there's only 4 of us that work out there in the city, so and 2 of us have to spend at least 40 to 60% of our time inside too now, so we got our hands full to say the least, so. But I do have a design of that, and I would like to see that through at some point if we could do that. I think that'd be neat to have our own Millwood Christmas tree right out for the town hall.
Future Millwood people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's set the next
Meeting
meeting.
adjourned.
Can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Ah, that's all exciting.
We have to set the next meeting. Bridget?
So,
So the next meeting is gonna be on September 29th. It'd be 6 o'clock. So we would need a motion to be able to set the first.
I first it.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we have a meeting September 29th, 6.
Alright, second.
Right there, like
I
Bob
second.
did, that's how you do it.
Okay, no firsties.
You basically,
And you
I'll provide more language for the next meeting, so that way we have a little bit
It's
more
been a
guidance.
while, it was a dirty
I
hillbilly
got a
custom.
book from the
I've been to a
PTO
few
that's got all that
unions.
stuff in there
Been
and
through
all
a
the
few
decorum and
union
everything,
meetings
it's like,
and
wow, this is
That's the
pretty
way it goes.
involved.
Yes,
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Okay.
Alright.
alright,
Not gonna gavel time.
I think so, right?
Yeah, I pass the thing to adjourn this meeting. Do we need somebody to?
The first and second adjournment.
I think so,
I
right?
think so, yeah.
That's how they do.
I'd like
I
to,
think we're all done.
I'd like to adjourn this meeting.
I'll first.
Second.
Alright, everybody go home.
Yes, do it, okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Did my